The Chargers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And for this young rookie making his first NFL start, a moment he's been waiting for since draft day.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions, or 7 touchdown passes. He's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
He'll look to throw. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
On fourth down is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. With that, let's check out how the Chargers line up on offense.
I have to admit, I've rather enjoyed watching Melvin Gordon's improvement as he's developed as an NFL player, because it started for me in college. Every year he was in school, he would add something extra to his game. First year, he knew how to run. He wanted to add pass receiving to his game. The next year, he wanted to add pass protection to his game. Did all of that. That turned him into a first-rounder, and now a front-line NFL back.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On third down, Rosen. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
Here we go now.
Now Gordon on first down. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. The numbers a week ago for Melvin Gordon. 20 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Rosen off the play action. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. 319. 319. All right, now, lucky 56.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. They'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Dances by him. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And it's brought in by Eric Decker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Here we go. Green, 39.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch that? You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Now Hunt. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now.
Here's Hunt. Gets past one man. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
First carry for Chris Ivory. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Back to throw here. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And the kick by Butker is good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. A gain of 6 there on first.
Okay, Paul, you got 4. You got 4. You got 4 down. Let's go.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hurry up, here we go.
Play action here with Rosen. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here's Rosen to throw. And some strong running. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
All right, here we go.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's caught. Decker. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They run with Hunt, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. They'll look to throw here. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
They'll look to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
All right, here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That one complete to Hill. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And Butker able to put this one through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Rosen on 1st and 10. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
If you got it, the benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now Rosen, and he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently, they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Justin Houston in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now back to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And he's able to get it out of there. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go now.
On play action, Rosen. Looking sideline, incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen, eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chris Jones, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And they're going deep for Hill. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. And 21 yards there as they convert on third. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Hunt showing off the same form from a year ago as the Chiefs come up with a first down.
Green 39. Green 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run it here with Hunt, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. And this one's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He's going to look for Allen now with a deep ball. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Play fake here on first down. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
After the interception, here's Rosen. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze. Because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll be brought down at the 43. Joey Bosa in on the stop.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now let's go!
This is Hunt. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here now, a look at Melvin Gordon. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of...
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And the kick by Butker is good. And that will make our score 9-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Now the Chargers hustling, trying to get up and get set. On second down, here's Rosen going for the deep ball. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Throwing again, it's Rosen. This will be caught at about the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
try and punch it in. Gordon, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Melvin Gordon, as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Sturgis adds the PAT, and that will get them one closer. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Casey Hayward makes the tackle. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Giants who are out in front in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Eli. From there, we head down the turnpike to see what's happening with the Eagles at home in Philadelphia. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Emmanuel Sanders, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting to set.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Anthony Sherman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Caught left side, Williams. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Point after now from Sturgis. Sturgis for the extra point, and that will shave 1 more off this lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
also not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
I mean,
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
On second down, Rosen. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Escaping the pressure right to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
On third down, Rosen. And this is complete. It's Allen. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
One man in the backfield, that's Gordon, second and goal.
319. 319. Leopard. Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw is Rosen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Third and goal. Rosen. Green brings it in. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having the team throw there.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now of all the work he's getting.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They go play action here on 1st down. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. They're going to look to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll go option to the short side. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolute monster with a really high motor.
It's complete to Kelsey. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he'll get nothing out of that one. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Butker able to put this one through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now Rosen on 1st down. Flush to his right. And caught right side, Green. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 39 that time. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Rosen. Flushed out right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by David Anderson. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Not that time for Watkins. And it's 3rd and 4.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking deep downfield here for Decker. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Rosen. And it's incomplete. Daniel Sorensen there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. Still fighting, taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Austin Eckler on the return. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Man open left side. It's Williams. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On second down, here's Rosen. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Chargers on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep right. And that's caught inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. A gain of 3, second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Justin Houston, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Melvin Ingram in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get...
To bring up 4th. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed. Boom, landed.
Now Rosen being chased out left. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but It's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And they'll throw it with Rosen. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Rosen, escaping the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Reggie Ragland. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go. Green.
On the run, this is Hunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now it's Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
On third down, it's Hunt, and he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And the kick by Butker is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Here's Eckler to return it. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Rosen to throw. He shakes him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 34. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to the air, Rosen after the pick 6. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.